Subject General English, page number 233 to 34. Section B, Part 2, Note making of an unseen passage. Of unseen, akhona ukhidraba passage, wari ema note making iba tambako. Note making of an unseen passage or extract of 250 to 300 word. Akhona uda wari ema iba tamda wahi kya changa heba wahi 250 to 300 wahi si chani yankhai dina sahumbo changeba. A. Note making in an appropriate format, the shape, size, and the presentation of a book, document, etc. 5 mark. Huziki udaba warido akoina I matamda maiji 5 mark ni wahidi ngarangi dudi 150 to 100 to 150 habidina nana uba wari I matamdana sijina udabadu wari I matamdadi explanation jam dakaro explain tawwa 250 to 300 chang hadan ko note making in an appropriate format kogi an appropriate format is sort of format ina bi same sabdo aduda the shape and size and presentation of a book or document or book lari ama natraga document kogi chesang mayama shape my same long size madugi topic and presentation na iridu uthokteneba adugi damatadi mark kya phangeba 5 mark pigneba bana lambi aroi adugi english construction lambi ade vocabulary a list of word and their meaning accompanying a text the body of word known to an individual person vocabulary haisna akoina iribado adugi konthok ngangba haigidaba a list of word and their meaning aduga iribu hai pare yari sing and their meaning makhogi wahai gi arth ju khangdaba the accompanying text aduga text the yari sing do doina khangba ka the body of what known to an individual person body of what the yoriba wahi kangup sing do known to an individual person kana mi amada khangan bangam neba note making the moment we want to make note of the main ideas from a passage on extract we should remember that the note have to be very brief from a passage or an extract from a passage khoi wari ama onatraga an extract di atopadi dangna parega nangna khanjaba sarga si kanoni ansinidana adu ansinuta ju nangna khangdragadi atopagi wari parega khang ibeyadna adugi of the main idea muroiba wahumsing adu the moment we want to make note akoina iba pamatamda we should remember akoina ningsingadabsi that kaino have the note why singatu have to be very brief adi nana pasin matam yamna samba mongda pagadamiba irakpadadi kya sange wahai 250 to 300 sang hai ko then we should not forget that we can make note without applying any grammatical rule to them then dagi we should not forget we can make note without applying any grammatical rule to them without applying any grammatical rule grammar we can make note note see we should not forget thirdly we must put the note in a logical order or a sequence thirdly we in a logical order wahai prema imatamda english ko hai prema utamagi sana bi mong leidana adugi sequence magi bathang naw leidana adudi we must put the note why the imatam thangudam neba we are allowed to use symbol abbreviation and the contract form of some word also we symbol di wahi na taba symbol na khana sign nang ye khangna ba yaba ko aviation adi asamba and aduga contract form of some word also contract form of some word also di akoida wahi do sang na idabida contract form di wahi du gi asamba ledina can not have can have do shall not a san have do will not a won haidina adumudo. Then we develop the main point into a summary. We may give a suitable title to the developed summary. When we develop the main point into a summary, akhona summary di asamba wari da when we develop the main point, maruiba ofamsing adu akhona thangpa matamda we may give a suitable title to the developed summary. To the developed summary na semiba wari atermado aduda we may give a suitable title. Madugi sanaba mingthon pigdamneba. Then we should put the point in an appropriate order. Then dagi we akoina in an appropriate order. Koi saurapa mathang no naina thangode haidar ingi kanodadi the we should put the point. Motivation to akoin thangodamneba. At this time we should remember that we are allowed to use some incomplete sentences. At this time hai matamsta we should remember akoina kawadabdi that we are allowed to use some incomplete sentences. Incomplete sentences di wahay do sentence mapung fadragasu wa khangba yaba wahay katang chu akoina we are allowed to use. We are allowed to use question bi yai question bi yai. Make note of the main point from the following passage or extracts. From the following passage makagi wari or natra extracts thorokpa stigi or the main point moriba wafamsing adu makes note semu hariko. About 2,500 million years ago, according to the present theories, the earth on which we live was a ball of gas, which on cooling grew smaller and became liquid. According to the present theories, the present theory akhoi hausiki theories nenaribigi according to matuina about 2,500 years ago. About 2,500 years ago, sahi milenje ising aniga sanga mukib meada the earth on which we live. The earth on which we live, akoina leiba the earth prithivisi was a ball of gas. Was a ball of gas di maningi ball amu ormeba. Which mase on cooling ingtharega grew smaller, picthareba. And aduga became liquid. Became liquid adi ising okiba. Mahi oki hamni ko. The liquid continued to cool, giving off some of its heat by radiation, and then liquid grow colder, they solidify. The liquid had mahiduna continue to cool giving off some of it heat by radiation. By radiation, aduga radiation di atopadigi man masek na hujiki mahido sum inthar ko mahiduda maisa pitoreba intharibidigi. And when liquid grow colder, when liquid akhoi mahising aduna grow colder sum intharaga they solidify. Singduna mu kari ore they solidified mukhoise mapang pakheleba. The crust of the earth is the solid matter resulting from this cooling, but probably inside the earth there is still a mass of molten material which has not cooled as much as the outer crust. The crust of the earth of the earth prithivigi the crust mathak thamba lerondu crust hariko is the solid material di mapongge masang resulting from this cooling hariba English dagi tholok oheleniba. But tobesung probably oithokpu yaba hargadi inside the earth prithvi manungsta there is still a mass of molten material akogi maigi sing pokhargi masak ama leba which mase has not cooled swing indeba as much as the outer crust. As much as the outer crust akhoi prithvi mapanda ingba sabat toise sai tawdana prithvi mongda leribadudi mai singi oi masak sing adudi has not cooled ingdebko. The crust on which we live and from which we obtain almost everything that we have is not quite rigid. The crust on which we live akhone leiriba crust pithibi lemai mathak and from which we obtain almost everything kudimak from which mitigi we obtain akhone phangibasi is not quite rigid akhoigi something nateba. Volcanoes such as Etna and Stromboli's in the Italian Iceland remind us from time to time of the force and heat below the ground. Volcano magising haibase such as Etna the Kreba Silsri haiba Italigi Zagada kugi magising pohaiba yam sara pohaiba yaba mafamdo Etna haireko Stromboli the Kreba saido Stromboli the Kari haigi Lebana Saba meat adagi cheese and vegetable hanab tenkotu Stromboli hamitro kari maronda Italian American maronda. Volcanoes such as Etna and Stromboli in the Italian Iceland remind us from time to time of the forces and heat below the ground. Below the ground, Kwelebak Manunga from time to time Matamgi of the force forcing and heat Maisasing Aduna remind us according Ningshin Hali volcano Magising Haidana such as Itana Haiba and Stromboli in Italan Iceland. Italan Iceland hadi Italan gi ising question leba singdum machado. Various places on earth are subject to earthquake. The country that has suffered most from this being Japan. Various places on the earth पृथ्वी various places tona phamsing asi are subject to earthquake you are adum have thokaneba the country leba wagera adum thokaneba that has suffered most from this being Japan akhona Japan to thoido adugi awabdo tain tawdana leba khudingmaki earthquake se adum thokpa adum nanganeba. The study of earthquake, the science of seismology has shown that the origin of many of them is under the bottom of the sea and near the coast of a continent or larger island. The studies of earthquake you are having study nenabasi koi science maronde kahre science of seismology hareko has shown sinapule the origin of many of them makhoi kyambagi harokphamsi under the bottom of the sea samudragi makhadane and near the coast of a continent or large island. Near the coast of the continent Mars desh amagi near the coast samudra mayada ondarga large island khogi asowa chingdum isingnu kwasel lebido adu mayada adum earthquake se thokpi horpham adum oy. In an earthquake, the surface of the kind may move suddenly in any direction, bringing house down, changing a straight railway track in a useless zigzag, alternating the courses of river, changing the shape of hill, and sometimes causing an emergency wave to rest on the nearest shore and add to the distraction. In an earthquake, you are have a talk matamdako. Surface of the kind, Kuileriba Kugi Pisi Mamaise may move suddenly in any direction. Any direction the Make hector may move suddenly. Come on, Otto Kibeba. Bringing houses down of the Yumsi Lebang Sangiba. Changing state railway track into useless zigzag. ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯔꯦꯜꯋꯦꯒꯤ ꯔꯦꯜ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤ ꯑꯁꯥꯡꯕꯅꯤ रेल की ट्रैक लंबी सांग सांग कोगी है जो मोदी कोई बस तो ना गाड़ी तो ना कहता हूँ बगी लंबी नती है सांग सांग बने मोगी रेलवे ट्रैक से सी कमाई तो रहे in state railway कोई रेलवे की अतिंग लंबी से into a useless zigzag into useless kanadaba and into useless zigzag kanadaba khoidang mongda sensing hongtuo level and sometimes the causing an emergency and mercy the asoba samudra ju ohleba earthquake na ko samudra le da pham ju earthquake tholakpon samudra ohlakpu ya we have to rush on the nearest chair the web har itaksina rush to on the nearest chair my hekna mafam du da tu nekta we have say itakje hogjeleba and the add to the distraction aduga mang ta haleba mang ta je add to the distraction mang ta to henkal haleba this tidal wave, as it is called, is wrongly named because it has nothing to do with the tide. This tidal wave masi itaki oiba wave si as it is called mana tholmi bise is wrongly named lan ming tholmi because manamdi it has nothing to do with the tide. With the tide itaksina to do tongai has nothing kaisu oideba itak katang hogjariba du itak dunadi kaiba thom nteba lemba mayamda thokku hakteneba the note of the main point from the given passage so extract are given below from the given passage piriba wahi wareng or extracts koi lokthorokpa sigi the note of the main point muroi wafam khara koi note section bi abada keno habada roman wanda about 2500 million year ago sahi million lisingani ga sangwa gi mamangda our earth was a ball of gas our earth koi prithvi si was a ball of gas maningi ball ama ormi haiba roman to the it grew smaller and became liquid due to coldness it machina grew smaller sum pikthak and aduga became liquid due to coldness adi ingmaram idina became liquid mahi on olakherami the liquid solidified due to hotness the liquid hare meito due to hotness samamdagi solidified mapong uthrokim thus the earth crust become a solid matter thus haitodana the earth crust prithibigi mathak thamba lemaise become a solid matter and mapongi masak ama oire there is still a small mass of coal molten matter inside the earth crust inside the earth crust koi prithibigi lemai gi mangda coal aingba molten mai gi singi oiba methane masak sing is still adumak a small mass apikpa sang the force and the heat below the ground make the volcano below the ground khuleba mung the force sapu and the heat maisaduna makes the volcano magising thon many have then earthquake are caused then daitoduna earthquake kogi yor habasi are caused tholi have paro